Hi everybody, it's nearly Christmas. Welcome to Little Likac. Those kind of sleigh bells. Welcome to Little Likac Christmas episode, if you like, episode 63. It is Saturday the 23rd of December. My name is Amanda. Welcome to my podcast and my YouTube channel. This is a knitting and a little bit of crochet podcast, and you are very welcome. So yes, I'm coming to you from Derby in the UK. We've actually got a bit of sunshine at the moment. It was miserable this morning. It is now, what sort of time is it? About 1:30, 1:45 in the afternoon. The sun has come out. It's actually really quite nice out there. So yes, welcome to my channel, and I am, as you can tell, a little bit excited because it's nearly Christmas. I broke up from school yesterday, so today's like kind of the first day of the holidays for me, and tomorrow is Christmas Eve, and I'm going out for dinner tonight. Tomorrow we're just having a day with just family. Christmas Day, my youngest daughter will be working part of the day, so that's going to be a little bit different, but we will still have the late afternoon and the evening all together, and yeah, looking forward to some family time. Right, what have I got for you today on the podcast? Quite a few things actually. I have got a proper finished object. I've also got a finished for now object that I'm going to talk about. I have news of two Makealongs that I want to talk about. I have discussed them both before, so if you're bored of hearing about them, fast forward through those bits. And what else have we got? I have got a new cast on, work in progress that is nearly finished, and a gift as well, so an acquisition, something that was gifted to me. So I'm just having a look. Yeah, I haven't got many things actually on the needles at the moment. I've done really well at clearing lots of things off, but that is all going to change from tomorrow. So shall we start with talking about the Makealongs? Let's do that. Okay, so there are two Makealongs that I'm going to be involved with, one of which I am hosting, one of which I am joining in with. So the one that I am going to be joining in with starts from tomorrow, and that is the 12 cast-ons of Christmas. I don't think she calls it 12 cast-ons of Christmas. I think she just calls it the 12 cast-ons. But I'm calling it 12 cast-ons of Christmas. And it's run by Angela from Yarny Yarns, who I've talked about her in my last podcast. She's a new to me podcaster, but she's been going for a few years. And I recently discovered her channel, and I really like her and her things that she makes and the way that she talks about things. And yeah, I feel like a kindred spirit with her to a certain extent. And she does a 12 cast on project Makealong that starts at Christmas each year. You do not have to cast on 12 things to join in. You can cast on anything from one thing to 12. 12 is the maximum, and you can cast them on at any point from the 24th of December, Christmas Eve, right through to the end of January. So anything you cast on in that time period, over that sort of 5.5 weeks or so, maybe 6 weeks, anything cast on in that time period would count for her Makealong. She is running that through Ravelry. She has her own Ravelry group, so head over there if you want to find out a bit more or watch her podcast. She did a video that went up yesterday, 22nd, where she talks a bit about it again. So I decided to join in, and I'm going to vlog them as well. Now I'm aiming to cast on one new project every day for the next 12 days. However, obviously I've got wiggle room on that if that doesn't happen. I have already started getting organised for that. I have chosen my projects, although one of those projects has now changed, which I'll probably explain when I get to that one. And I've been sorting out project bags, making sure I've got enough needles of the different sizes that I need, etc. Got the yarn. I've got a lot of yarn winding to do. But yeah, so the first one of those is going to be cast on tomorrow, which I'm dead excited about. So that is why I tried to clear as many whips as I can really before the end of the year. There were two sweaters. There's a cardigan and a cotton t-shirt that, to be fair, I've not worked on for quite a while anyway. And there's a few blankets. They will all be carried over into next year, but really it's not very many. And I've got 12 new cast-ons to think about over the next 12 days. So yeah, I will be vlogging those. As I say, they might go up every day, they might go up every couple of days, but look out for them. And the other make-along that I am hosting is the Your Socksy and You Know It make-along, and that is for knitting a pair of socks. And the idea with that, again, I like the number 12 at the moment. The idea for that is I have lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of self-striping sock yarn, mostly commercial, and I decided that I was going to knit a pair per month next year, and I'm inviting you guys to join in. Now, you do not have to use self-striping yarn. You can use whatever sock yarn you like. You do not have to do a pair per month. But to enter into any giveaways that we do, you need to start a pair and finish it in the space of 2 months. So you can cast it on from any time from the first of the month, and you need to finish it by the last day of the month after that. So the first ones start on the 1st of January. If you don't cast it on the 1st of January, that's not a problem. You might cast it on the 3rd of January, 10th of January, whatever. But that one, if you cast it on in January, it needs to be finished by the end of February. If you cast one on in February, it needs to be finished by the end of March, etc, etc, etc. So yes, but my rules are that I'm using self-striping sock yarn, and the other thing I've done to make it more interesting for myself is I picked out 12 skeins in advance, which I did a whole vlog on. Took me 2 days to choose. I picked out 12 sock yarns, and then I've wrapped them up with contrasting plain colour as well, and I've wrapped them up and numbered them, although most of them are random numbers, so I don't know what's what. And then each month I pull out, that's like a full year advent if you like, so each year I find the one with that month's sticker on and pull it out the bag, and that's what I will be knitting. And the other rule that I made for myself, because I had so many that I was struggling to choose, I then made it a rule that they had to be purple in it. So I think there's only one that doesn't fit into that rule, which is one of the Christmas colourways. Other than that, everything had to have purple in it. And I have a feeling that purple is going to be a big theme for me next year. There's a lot of things I'm planning on knitting next year that involve purple. I'm not going to say that everything will be, but a lot. So yeah, so if you want to get involved in the Socksy and You Know It make-along, again, really that's going to be mostly through Ravelry, because we Instagram have changed the way hashtags work. It used to be if you used a specific hashtag, if I searched for that hashtag, everything that had been tagged with that hashtag would come up. They've changed it now so that only, what do they call it, top posts, whatever that means, come up. So I can't guarantee I'll see everybody's posts. So that's a bit rubbish. So if you want to get involved actually for the giveaway, if you actually want to win anything on the Socksy and You Know It make-along, you will need to post your finished object in the correct Ravelry thread, or you need to email me a picture of it or send me a picture of it on Instagram, etc, asking me to enter it, and then I will enter that onto the Ravelry thread so that everything is all on one thread that I can then pull the winners off. I'm also going to say, if you post a picture of it on the Ravelry thread, or you send it to me to go onto the Ravelry thread, then I'm going to assume that also gives me permission to show it on my Instagram or share it on YouTube here. If you don't want it shared, or you don't want it shared with your name, then if you let me know when you put it in the Ravelry thread, or let me know when you email it to me, please do not share, or only share anonymously, then I will obviously respect that. Otherwise, I'm going to assume that you are okay for me to share it, because let's face it, Ravelry is a public board anyway, and if it gets posted onto Ravelry, it's in the public domain. But if you don't want me to share it on YouTube, or you don't want me to share it on my Instagram, please let me know. Okie dokie, right. So those are the 2 make-alongs. I'm a little bit hyper. Do you know what? I've been hyper all week because I've suddenly, at last felt better. Those of you that watched the vlogs in November, you will know that November I was ill a lot. And then I was still ill the last time I podcast 2 weeks ago. I had about 4 or 5 weeks of just being ill continuously, and I'd been ill in October as well. Not even sure that I didn't have COVID maybe in October. So I've just been so run down. And suddenly this week I have been feeling so much better, and I've had so much energy, and it's almost like now that I've got so much energy and feel better, I realise just how ill I felt and how long I felt ill for. So I feel like I've got so much more energy at the moment, which is brilliant. I have been taking multivitamins, trying to eat more fruit and veg, although probably a lot of that is going to go out the window over the next week while it's Christmas time and New Year and all the party food. Yum, 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 yum. So yeah, I'm a little bit hyper, which is good, which is good. Right, so on with the show. Let's see what I have finished. Well, you probably won't be surprised to see it's a pair of socks. But I started these socks in March, and I said to you last time that I just wasn't feeling the love for them, couldn't get my mojo. Well, suddenly, again, a little bit like the cabled vest, things clicked and I just powered on and got these socks finished. And I don't know really why it seemed to take so long. So the last time you saw these, 2 weeks ago, I was up to here on the first sock. So I hadn't even finished the first sock, and I don't know why. I had just been procrastinating, finding other things to knit. So this one is now finished, and so is this one, and even the ends are weaved in. And let's face it, we don't always weave in the ends and quite often still count them as finished objects, but these are no ends to weave in, all completely finished and wearable. So what pattern are these? This pattern is actually my own pattern, one of the first ones I designed. I say one of the first ones, I've only published about three sock patterns, and one fingerless bits. Anyway, so I think these were the second that I published. Well, they're the first. Anyway, they're called Hope Springs Eternal, and I designed them in March of 2020 when we were going into the first lockdown, and I thought, you know, we all needed a little bit of hope to keep the hope going. So 2020 I designed these, or 2021? Might have been 2021 when we were coming out of the second lockdown. Oh, I don't know. But anyway, it was definitely all to do with lockdown, and it was definitely March, so either 2020 or 2021, either going into lockdown or coming out of lockdown. Anyway, so the pattern is actually pretty simple. It is a 4-row repeat pattern, and there is no cabling or anything like that. There are 3 sizes, small, medium and large, and this has eye partridge heel. And the yarn that I've used is my yarn, Little Likac, Great Neptune's Ocean. So really I knitted these as a sample pair actually to go on the stands. So if you see me at a show next year, at the moment I'm only booked into one show, which is quite exciting though. It's one at Chipping Sodbury, and it's a brand new show. So if you see me at a show next year though, chances are I will have these on display, or at least one of them. So that is a finished object, and yeah, really pleased to have those finished. Probably not going to wear them though, because I want to keep them as a sample. Right, okay, what's that on my phone? Okay, so next we have a finished for now object. So one of the projects I was working on at the beginning of December was a crochet gingerbread town. So it had a gingerbread house, a gingerbread train and things like that. And I started on it, and then I sort of finished about halfway through. It was through Hobbycraft, and they released a bit of the pattern every day, and I think I got up to about day 15, something like that, and I thought, yeah, I've had enough of this for now. But I have finished the house. I really wish I'd used some stronger cardboard. But I have finished the house. Look at the house. And I'll show you, there are a few bits inside the house as well. So we have the gingerbread house. This is all made from cotton, and I'm now trying to remember if it's 4-ply cotton or DK cotton, and I really can't remember. Look how ski whiff it is. We have this cute little roof on the house, and then when you take off the roof we have some bits in here. So I did do these as well. We have a Christmas tree. We have a couple of little presents. It was doing the presents that I got fed up. And we also have a gingerbread person. Hello. Now we should have done 2 gingerbread people, but I've only done 1. So, hello. You're going to have to wait till next year for a mate. Okay, so I decided enough was enough with that. So it's got lollipops and little jelly tots, and it is very cute, and I did enjoy it. But when I reached a point where I wasn't really enjoying it anymore, I decided that was enough. So I have still got all the yarn left to make the rest of the stuff, and maybe next year, or maybe in Christmas in July, I will make some of the other bits to go with it. That might be a nice idea to do it in Christmas in July. Okay, so that is a finished for now object. I just don't feel like doing any more of that at the moment, because again, I wanted to get other things organised and sorted. So let's show you the last kind of work in progress that I'm likely to get finished, and the plan is to finish this afternoon. So once I have finished recording this, when I'm editing and putting it together, I will be finishing putting this cardigan together. So this is a baby cardigan for a colleague who is having a baby in February. And the pattern is a Sirdar Snuggly Chunky 3934. Now the pattern, it has a V-neck cardigan, a jumper and a round neck cardigan. I have done the round neck cardigan, and all the knitting is done now. Now it's just the sewing up. So here is the 2 fronts. You can see I've done the button band, picked up the stitches around there. So all I've got left to do is to sew in the sleeves. The sleeves are also done. So we just need to sew in the sleeves, and then there's a little bit of seaming to do. So this is the size 6 to 12 months. I had a part ball of chunky yarn, and I think I had about 180 grams. It was a 200 gram ball, and I think I had about 180 grams of it. And yes, I have got the label even. This is all I have got left. I did feel like I was playing yarn chicken, because that looks quite a lot now. It's kind of wound into a ball, but trust me, when it was just kind of in the loose last bit of the ball, it didn't look like there was a lot left, and I was really worried. But we played yarn chicken and we won. So this yarn is Woolcraft Pebble, 200 grams. It's very cheap. It's $4.99 for 200 grams, or that's what it cost me. And it's 100% acrylic. It's a nice soft acrylic. It will be perfect for a baby knit, and I think the colours are lovely. Oh, in fact, the colourway, the colour number for this is colour 8028, and it is also 100% acrylic. So I've just got to find some buttons as well. I'll choose some nice buttons to go on it. Now I have got a box of buttons that I will look through, and I'm hoping I'll find something on there, in there to go on it. You can see it's kind of got like a bit like a basket weave pattern, and the yarn is almost like a self-striping, variegated, really pretty. You may recognise this wool. It is what I used for one of the shades, colours that I used for the Funky Chunky Yarndale cardi that I knitted earlier in the year. Now I do still have some leftovers. I still have about 180 grams of the grey, which has got like a pinky red in it, and also there's a blue, predominantly blue with a little bit of purple in it. I'm actually going to give those to my mum. She knits baby clothes, and so she's going to have that, because she'll be able to get probably again a little cardigan or something out of each one. So she's going to take that. What else is left over? So I honestly, all I've got left to do is that little bit of sewing up and to find some buttons and sew those buttons on, and that is done. This is a beautiful bag, which is from, I think it's Wildwood Stitches. My husband bought me this bag last year. Her bags are beautiful, beautiful quality, beautifully made. but also a little bit on the pricey side if I'm honest. So, but it has got Harris tweed, which is why it's pricey. It's genuine Harris tweed there that has been used, so I can't really complain. And anyway, as I say, I didn't buy it. My husband bought it for me for Christmas. I sent him the link to it. I said, oh, look at this. So it is beautiful. Little mice. It's got an autumnal feel, that one. So it is a lovely project bag. So we're going to take that back up to the house and we'll get that finished this afternoon before we go out for dinner tonight. Yeah, and that's really it for whips, because like I said, I've been trying to reduce the number of whips so that I am ready for the 12 cast-ons. I have a new cast-on though. I say that's whips. It's not super. I have a new cast-on. So last podcast 2 weeks ago, I showed you this yarn that my husband chose, and I was kind of like, really? So he chose this yarn for socks because he wanted a new pair. Well, I offered to make him a new pair of socks, and here it is. Here's the ball band. It is opal sock yarn, which is a commercial sock yarn on the sort of cheaper end of sock yarn. Opal Country. So I think it was about £7 a ball for 100 grams. And it is colourway Howdy. And those are the numbers. I'm never sure which is the colour and which is the dye lot. So there you go. So the colourway is called Howdy. And I also then paired it with this solid green that I had got, which is a Signet, what did I call it? Signet Wool Rich, I think it is, which again is like 75% wool, 25% nylon. And this is how they're knitting up, and I don't hate it. I think that's the best I can say. It's really not my colours, but if my husband likes them, then that's all that matters. And he does actually. Well, he said he did, so let's hope so. So that's how it's knitting up. Like I say, definitely not what I would have chosen, but so I'll just move my little stitch marker, progress keeper. This is a little no it's not, it's a little snowman progress keeper. I've been doing a swap. I did a swap this year, an advent swap, and I've got so many lovely little progress keepers and stitch markers from Denise of Dear Designs. And pretty sure that's where this one came from. So it's just, so yes, I'm not sure really now how much work this is going to get done on it, because I've got all of these new cast-ons to work on over the next couple of weeks, but which is why I thought I would at least get these started and work on them for a bit. So yeah, as I say, definitely wouldn't be my colour, but they are knitting up nicely, and you get quite a lot of yardage, I think, in one of these. Now I think it was 26 grams of this as well, so I am hoping it will be enough to do heels, toes and cuffs. I really ought to weigh this now actually and make sure before I do the toes, because I can always do the toes just in this if I don't think I'm going to have enough of that. Yeah, not much else to tell you about that really. It is just a plain vanilla sock. I use 72 stitches on 2.25mm needles. 2x2 rib for 20 rows, and then it's about 60 rows for the leg. Slip stitch heel, and then just plain foot. I've got some notes somewhere that tells me how many rows to do for his foot before I start decreasing for the toes. So, and I'm knitting these on Knit Pro or Knit Pick Symphony, which I love these as my go-to sock needles. I do like wooden needles. I will use metal as well, and bamboo, but I do like wooden. And my project bag. Knitting Chickens, which will be a bag from Amelia X Joy on Etsy, a very, very reasonably priced designer, project bag maker, who I've talked about before. So that's the new cast on, and it's the only other kind of active whip I've got at the moment. All that will change. Alright, and I have just got one other thing to show you really, I think, which is I did a wool swap, a Christmas sock wool swap, which was organised through a knitting shop in America. I want to say something like La Mercerie, but they are American, I know it sounds very French. And they organise a wool swap, an international wool swap, and you do pay a fee to join it, and then they match you up with somebody else, and you can ask to ship internationally or to ship in your own country. I asked to ship domestic. It's just got very expensive to ship to the States or to ship internationally. So my swappee was a lovely person called Zoe, and we messaged each other, found out what we liked and didn't like, and she sent me this beautiful skein of yarn from Bird Street Yarn. Now, I've seen Bird Street Yarn lots on Instagram and on other people's podcasts. I've always thought it does look lovely quality yarn, and this is the one she sent me. She found out I liked purple. I think I told her. I think actually it was on the questionnaire that you fill in at the beginning. And this colourway is called It's My Jam. So it makes me think of, like, I don't know, like dams and jam maybe, something like that. Isn't it beautiful? Absolutely beautiful colour. And she also sent me a pair of needle stoppers as well. Christmas tree needle stoppers. So I really ought to put those onto a project actually. Ah, I know, I'll put them onto the project that I'm going to be casting on Christmas Day actually. Perfect. So yes, that is my lovely goodies from Zoe. So thank you very much, Zoe, if you're watching. And it is a beautiful skein of yarn. Really lovely. It's 75/25 merino nylon. I think that might be it, my lovely people. It is. So look out for the next couple of weeks. There will be lots coming up on the YouTube channel. So do please watch the videos for the different cast-ons. If you want to get involved in the 12 cast-ons for Christmas, then do that through Yarny Yarns. If you want to get involved in the Socksy and You Know It Knit Along, then that is through my Ravelry pages. Everything, links for Ravelry, etc. Yeah, links for Ravelry will be in the description box below. Leave me a comment, let me know if you are joining in with any Makealongs. Are you joining in with either of those two Makealongs? And yeah, I will see you very soon. You're going to see lots of me over the next few weeks. Bye for now.